Eddie Krawiec joins the show. And Eddie, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Oh, not too bad. Thanks for having me.
You know, woke up and drove in this morning here with about 8 inches of snow on the ground. I hope it's a little better where you're at.
Yeah, I'm actually driving across Ohio right now. I'm on my way to New Jersey, going to visit some family for the Christmas holiday, and just make my way through. But definitely sunny skies, I should say, and not warm, but 40 degrees.
Yeah, very cool. Hey, world champion 2012, good feeling. How have you celebrated so far?
Oh, it's been work. All since we got back. We basically never rest. Anytime you sort of slack off, I'd say you fall behind. So, we have to do a little bit of an engine redesign this year. So, pretty much Pomona got back that following Thursday and got back in the shop and started working, and it's been at it ever since. We kind of keep after it as much as possible, and with the engine redesign and stuff, it's really got our plate full. You and Andrew Hines on those Harley Davidsons pretty much dominated the field this year. We've been watching all year long, and it was you or him. You guys really tore it up. Yeah, we ran well all year. A lot of that came by the consistency side of it. We worked on trying to make our clutch program, our tuning program, everything all come together and really work as one. This is the first year that I can honestly say, me as a rider, I made minimal mistakes. And my crew chief, Matt, gave me an awesome motorcycle. When you get that combination where the riders are making minimal mistakes and you have a great chassis setup and fast motorcycles, you're going to win some races. And that we did. 15 of 16 was definitely an awesome year. And to bring back the championship for Harley is even, it's icing on the cake.
And it was no easy task for you to pull that off. You figure after the first race, they decide that you need to gain 20 pounds, both of you. And then that wasn't enough, resetting the bikes to the balance of the bike to do that. Then they hook another 10 pounds on you. Which one of those two really made the biggest difference in trying to get the bike back?
Believe it or not, it was actually the 10 pounds after Dallas. Going into Dallas, I should say. It's the 20. It affected us, and we were able to have a good baseline setup. But it seems like that extra 10 just may have put it over the edge, where the bike was really on the side that it grabbed that 20 pounds from the beginning of the year, that extra 10, and it really weighed on it just enough that it made us struggle early on. It made the bike on a hot track really not want to work right. On a cold track, we can be aggressive and get after it, but you have to hit the tire a lot harder. The heavier the bike keeps getting, you have to hit the tire harder to get it to move. And when you get onto those hot, greasy tracks, it's just really not forgiving. So that was really the tough part of it. So I would definitely say that the 10 pounds that we got the second time was worse than the 20 the first.
Your third world championship, you won your first in 09, and then you win the last full throttle championship this year. But I think there was one race that really made the biggest difference this year, and that was winning at home. How big was that? And does that make this championship that much cooler?
Yeah, absolutely. Having the opportunity to win your hometown race is, it's just something I still to this day can't even believe. When I reflect back at it, that was my championship. Being able to win my hometown race, and I said I would feel at peace now to be able to retire and not worry about it. But I don't see that in my future yet, and I want to continue racing, and hopefully I'll get a couple more wins at Englishtown. But that's definitely that made my championship season.
I ask that because in looking back in over the year, I honestly think you displayed more emotion after winning Englishtown than you did when you sewed up the championship in Pomona. You could tell.
Yeah,
I mean, you could tell.
Meant a lot. But, go ahead.
I was going to say, Eddie, there's a lot of talk about slowing you guys down. Do you like to hear that? I mean, because when I think drag racing and motorsports in general, I hate it when sanctioning bodies try to slow down guys that are going rocket shipping down the track. I'd rather see them try to do what they can to help the others speed up rather than slow guys down. I think that's an accomplishment to be able to go out there and put speed to the track.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Our motorcycles are based after the factory production V-Rod. The V-Rod is a dual overhead cam 4-valve, and they're actually making us go backwards in technology and make it a pushrod motor. So the motor that's going in it really isn't even going to represent the factory motorcycle. But on the reverse side of things, it's taking a step backwards because every motorcycle nowadays is pretty much a dual overhead cam 4-valve engine, and we would have loved to see NHRA adapt that concept and put it on all the other motorcycles. I honestly think their fear is they don't want to see bikes have the capabilities of going 670, 660s at almost 200 miles an hour. It's years ago the joke was 690 was the limit. They didn't want to see us go much faster than that. And, it's progressed over the last couple of years as any drag racer, will tell you. They want to go faster. They don't want to go slower. But, it's been that evolution in fuel and in all the classes. So, hopefully it all pans out at the end. And I think we'll have a good combination. And I think we're going to have fast motorcycles again this year. I'm excited and looking forward to it.
Is there a point though where you as a rider say, okay, that's fast enough, or is there just unlimited speed? Let's just go.
I've never really given that much thought. It's funny you bring that up because I've never really given it much thought. I've always said my limit is if I have to wear a bulletproof vest to do my job on the motorcycle, then I'm out of my boundaries. Those Top Fuel guys are crazy, and half of them have a bulletproof vest on. I'm like, unless I'm in the Army or I am a police officer, I'm not wearing a bulletproof vest.
I could see Eddie, teeth, hair, and eyeballs going down the track. That's how fast he wants to go. Eddie, in this total redesign of this engine, and I mean total redesign, when the announcement came out that it was across the board, and then we find out who does it affect? 2 bikes. Have you guys like really dedicated yourself to figure out a way to make this thing make more horsepower and go quicker, just to say, there you go, you got what you wanted?
Our new design, I feel honestly, is going to be it's going to be a tough package. That it's going to run really well, I believe. We've put forth a lot of effort, a lot of resources between Byron, Matt, Andrew, and all our great supporters of our team. We have a lot of technology and a lot of thought that went into this, and with the help of Harley Davidson, it'll be a reality. Hopefully, in the next, we're probably going to hit the dyno, I would assume, somewhere in mid-February with the thing, just because we just finished the redesigning side of it. We just got approval from NHRA, and we'll start cutting chips here in probably about the next week on making some pieces. So it'll probably take about 2 months before we can have our first motor together, and hopefully we can have 4 or 5 of them in the truck ready to go by Gainesville. But our goal is to make it to Gainesville at this point. But I do believe it's going to be a fast setup. I think it may take a few races to really get it 100%, but we'll get it. It's going to be a fight no matter what. A lot of people don't realize. The Buells have been giving a little bit, the S&S bike got a little bit of an advantage. They're letting them redesign their rocker box and pretty much their push rod design. But I think the bad thing out of the whole deal is they sort of forgot about the Suzuki. You know, they're not giving that bike anything extra, and you know, the end result of it is you have this platform that was sort of behind a little last year compared to the 2V twins, and then you know, they're not giving that anything, but they're giving the Buell something. So really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you know, we build a lot of the Suzuki motors. We've been hard at R&D. I will tell you, I mean, we've worked on the Suzuki platform a lot in the last 3 months and made really big strides, and we're excited to get one in a set of frame rails here and go testing soon.
Folks, we're talking with Pro Stock Motorcycle World Champion Eddie Krawiec. And Eddie, you know, everybody that races always seems to have a mentor or somebody they look up to when they start their career or growing up or whatever. Who was that guy for you?
For me, the guy that got me involved in motorcycles was Dave Schultz. You know, I met him back in 1995 and had the opportunity to talk with him for a little while, and that's really what turned me into the love of motorcycles and wanting to race motorcycles. And you know, Dave since has passed on, and you know, he is the man in this sport. You know, when you look at championships and NHRA drag racing, he's got them. He's got the most, and you know, he's the guy that I really looked up to. And you know, as well as my crew chief Matt Hines, you know, I watched him growing up. You know, I was watching him out there kicking everybody's butt, and I was like, one day I'd like to be him. And you know, to have him as the guy standing behind my bike on the starting line tuning me is really an awesome deal. So, but it's definitely a humbling sport. You know, you can be on the top one day and you can be on the bottom the next. So you definitely take it for all it's worth and enjoy it while you're doing it.
Well, you know, if you were going to emulate somebody, Dave Schultz would in that class would definitely be the guy. And that's really cool that you had a chance to talk to him, you know, have him be your mentor as it is to get there. Now, you want to talk about somebody that dominated the class.
Yeah, not to interrupt, but his wife actually sent me the Wally. After he passed away, his wife sent me the Englishtown Wally where I met him in 1995. He won that race, and his wife Meredith sent that to me, and you know, that was my inspiration, sort of, you know, to go after this. I was like, I want my own Wally, and that was my goal, was just to have one Wally, you know, to sort of offset the second half of the mantle, to say, okay, you know, I got Dave's over here and I got mine over here, and you know, that meant a lot to me. But now I've got 20, and it's really been an awesome journey and an awesome road to get to where I am now, and hopefully it's only a third of the way through it.
Where was the win of your first Wally, Eddie?
My first win came in Atlanta Dragway in 2009.
Very
I
nice.
went back to back. I went Atlanta, St. Louis, and I got 2 wins back to back. Never had gotten a win up until that point, and then went back to back races for wins.
And you know, with everybody, we find that's the one that you don't forget, that first one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, it's
what
everybody's after. You know, you want that Wally.
Especially after being only the second guy in the history of the sport to win the world championship without winning a race. So, you know, I mean, you put yourself in the record book, and then you showed them that it was no fluke.
Yeah, that's it. You're right. I mean, I went that season. I went to I won a total of 5 races, won a total of 8 finals in a row, total of 10. I'm sorry, 9 finals in a row, and a total of 10 for the season. So it was. That was, and I lost the championship by 2 points, you know, so it's like, man, how can you have a year like that? And then the previous year, you won the championship, you didn't win a race, you know, so it was sort of a little mind-boggling for me, but, you know, I think coming back these last 2 years and winning back-to-back championships has shown, you know, that I am a championship contender, and I think a lot of it is consistency. You need to be consistent and constantly do your job and have good green lights. You know, stay away from that red light, but have good green lights.
You said that you figured the bike was going to be on the dyno sometime in February. When do you think the first time you're going to be able to test on track?
We really don't know at this point. You know, we might have to show up to Gainesville and run down the track, but our plan is maybe on the way to Gainesville, stop at a drag strip and maybe make 2 or 3 runs just to get a baseline clutch set up and do that. We really don't know. We're playing it all by ear at this point.
Very good. Well, it's good to have you on the show. Congratulations once again on your championship there in 2012, and now you got the target on your back, and you'll have to go out and do it again.
Thanks. I don't mind having a target. That's actually a good thing. So I appreciate coming on the show, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
All right. Have good holidays and everything, and we'll talk to you next year.
You too. Take care.